Hello, Chem students, and welcome back to another edition of Stoichiometry word problems. How to do them. So I know that many of you all are having some trouble trying to figure out how do I even begin to start a stoichiometry problem. So let me go ahead and get right to it, all right? So on the screen, you see a problem that starts off and says propane burns in excess oxygen according to the following reactions. So you have the reaction. Remember what I said from the first video. In order to do stoichiometry problems, the equation must be balanced. If it's not balanced, balance it. I've already balanced this one for you, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to solve it. I'm going to take them step by step. Part A first. Notice the answers are already there, so you can check yourself, and you can do it right alongside with me. So let's go ahead and start on this particular problem. So Part A gives you this particular equation right here, okay? And the question for Part A says, how many moles of each? So we're looking for the moles of each, carbon dioxide and water. Now, let me warn you, whenever you are looking for two different answers, you're going to do them one problem at a time. So this is actually two problems in one reaction, okay? So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start with carbon dioxide first. I want to look for CO2 first before I do any of the other parts of the problem. How many moles of carbon dioxide are formed from 3.85 moles of propane? So they've given me that first number, 3.85 moles of propane. Now look here, if you don't know what propane is, I need you to start over in chemistry, okay? You know it's not oxygen right here. You know it's not carbon dioxide, and you know it ain't water. So it has to be this first, okay, formula at the very top, right over here, okay? So I'm going to put the number that's associated with what was given in the problem right above it. 3.85 moles, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and block this in because this is what they gave me, and this is what I'm going to be working with. I'm looking for my first part of my problem, which is the moles of carbon dioxide. So that's my first X right there, okay? Now, what I do first is come down here and just set that joker up. I'm going to say 3.85 moles of propane, C3H8, over 1 mole. Now you're probably saying, Professor Ship, where are you getting that 1 mole from? Remember, there's an imaginary 1 right here. Okay, so we're going to pretend like there's a 1 there that you don't see. Now, let me give you all an idea of how to actually predict what the final answer is going to be. Let's say that we round this number off to 4 just because we want to make sure that we can kind of think ahead without using these decimals in our numbers. If I told you that you start off with 1 of something and then it goes up 4 times the amount, what do you think carbon dioxide is going to do? It's going to also go up 4 times the amount. In other words, it's going to quadruple, okay? If I were looking for oxygen, that number would also quadruple, meaning it would increase 4 times the amount that you see here for the 5. And if I'm looking for water, which I'm going to do that in the next step, that's going to also quadruple 4 times the amount. So let's go ahead and work with what we have right here in the meantime, so you all can see how simple these stoichiometry problems are. So I've got my 3.85 moles of propane over 1 mole. I'm going to set that to equal to my first X of carbon dioxide. That's what I'm looking for. On the very bottom, I'm going to put that 3 right there. That 3 is going to go right there on the bottom of CO2. Now check this out. All I'm going to do, y'all, is cross multiply, okay? Cross multiply. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to take that 3.85 and I'm going to multiply times that 3. All I'm doing, y'all, is multiplying these two numbers right here, okay? Don't overthink it. That's my motto. Don't overthink it. 3.85 times 3. Now, guess what? I got to divide by the last number in the problem, which is this 1 right here. I'm going to put that on the very bottom. Now, y'all know significant digits is here. It didn't leave you. Is here. When I multiply 3.85 times 3, let's see what we get. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get my calculator out, okay? See that right there? I'm going to type in 3.85 times 3. Guess what I get? I get this number right here, 11.55. But y'all know that's not it. I've got to make sure that my final answer has 3 significant digits. So when I round that off, I'm going to end up with 11.6 moles of CO2. Ain't that easy? Isn't that simple? Don't overthink it. Let's move on to water. And if you need to see anything replayed over, you know what you need to do? Pause the video, rewind. Don't overthink it, okay? Don't overthink it. Now, I'm going to erase part of what I had from the previous part of the problem so you can see what we're working with, okay? Again, this ain't hard, y'all. Don't overthink it. Now, all I need you all to do is to watch how simple I'm about to make this process work, okay? Watch this. You see I'm erasing the screen, right? Okay? As simple as this is, the next step is going to be even simpler, okay? So here we go. In the problem, I'm now looking for water, okay? I just solved for carbon dioxide, and I'm going to use this same equation to solve for water. So guess what? I'm going to erase CO2 because I don't need that anymore. I'm going to erase all of this that was on the very bottom, okay? Now, check this out. In the previous problem where we were looking for moles of CO2, since I don't need that anymore, let me just go ahead and delete that off too, so that you guys can actually see how we're going to start a new process, a new part of the problem, okay? So over here, I need to solve for H2O, okay? Now I'm going to leave that 3.85 up here because I've already, the 3.85 bowls of propane because that's still part of the problem. I still have to use that in my answer, okay? In solving for it. So what I'm going to do now is look for water, okay? So my X is going to go over here and I'm going to block that bad boy in because that's what I'm looking for, okay? So you notice how the X moles of H2O will go right here because that's the new thing that you're looking for. And on the bottom, that 4. Bam. All I got to do now, y'all, is do what? Cross multiply. Now, how did my 5 get erased from the previous part of the problem? Let me go back and put that 5 up in there. I don't know how I got erased. Let me put that thing back up in. Let me put it back over there. Bam. Now, all I need to do now is take the 3.85 and multiply it times 4. Cross multiplying. Okay, that's all we're doing, y'all. Nothing more, nothing less. Cross multiplying. So let's go ahead and cross multiply 3.85 times 4 and divide that by what? What's left over? That 1. So I'm going to get my calculator out and say 3.85 times 4, and that's going to give me 15.4. And guess what? It gave me the exact amount that I needed in terms of having 3 significant digits. And that's moles of water. Okay? Bam. We are done. Now I just made a mess of that. So let me erase. And yeah, I'm just having a good old time over here trying to share this information with you guys because I'm excited, that stoichiometry is not as difficult as some of you guys may think. Okay, that's your answer. We're moving on to what? Another type of problem. Stay tuned for the next video.